I've reacted to this man before and he really pulls at the heartstrings. This one is a patron vote winner and there's something about his authenticity that really gets you. So I'm excited and aware that it might get me in the emotions. I love the use of the Hammond organ already. Is that old gospel-y sound? Straight away you know it's going to be soul-y. Just by the sound of the organ. Brilliant build at the start.
What would you do if I sang out of tune?
Oh my goodness. Look, let's just listen to that first note straight away. I was like, oh. Okay, let's go back to like 1 minute 16. Listen to the what?
What would you do if I sang out of tune?
He actually does sing out of tune. He's not on the note and he kind of slides through it and it sounds really fragile. But that authenticity, this is a showing of you do not need to be perfect. In fact, here it's really beautiful that he's not perfect. Straight away you're like, oh, sounds like his voice is on the edge of crying. He's on the edge of emotion. Our voice is not perfect, especially when we're emotional, and that's what it sounds like here.
Why'd you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song.
Now he's perfectly pitched though. It's so interesting because I don't know if that was purposeful, if it was just a first note thing. I think probably not for him because he's well seasoned, but for most people that first note, for me certainly, that first note is the one that often gets me because of the anxiety before that. We overthink it, we're worried about it, and then you settle in. And that is really, really normal. So one of the things when I'm practicing music is that I will practice the start a lot so that I feel really, really comfortable with it and I'm not worried about it. As soon as I worry, that's when things go a little awry. I'm not saying this is what Joe Cocker's done. I'm actually pretty sure that it's a bit of a musical metaphor and he did it on purpose.
I wanna get down.
Woo!
I just keep trying. I'm gonna get out.
Ooh, that growl.
I just told them with my friends.
So he's using a little bit of a false chord growl. Goodbye. It's like a Louis Armstrong growl there, which is really, really beautiful. And again, he has a lot of kind of nostalgic sounds in there. He uses tools from singers from past times, and that it makes you feel like his voice is very timeless. What's also wonderful about him is he just looks like a guy that you would walk past him on the street and not really notice who he is. You know, he just is like many people. He looks like a normal guy, and yet he just sings with his soul, and therefore that means he connects with many, many people because that's kind of who he is. And I think a lot of people when they're singing feel like, or people who are aspiring to sing feel like they can't do it because they feel like whatever, you're a normal person. We're all normal person, but we're all normal person, all normal people, but we're also all very unique. And there's uniqueness about you, even if you're not sure. And actually, the normality of you, think of like Ed Sheeran, you know? Those are the things that connect with people. The sameness, the things that we understand about each other, that's what connects us. So don't feel like because you feel similarly to other people, then you are not valid. Actually, I think that gives you an even better way to connect.
What do I do?
We're all the same in our core anyway, aren't we?
Does it work for you to be alone? Oh no. How do I feel about the end of the day? Are you sad because you're on your own? I don't get sad. I get by afraid from my friends. I just keep trying with my friends.
I find it the contrast between the backing singers who sound very highly technical, very, very solid, very warm, and his, I hope you wouldn't mind me saying, but slightly broken sounding voice. It sounds vulnerable, it sounds wobbly, it sounds like it might break with emotion at many different points. I don't think that he has, if often when vocal coaches look at stuff, we're looking at efficiency of the voice, and the backing singers here definitely have that efficiency, and I don't think his voice is efficient in that way, and that is not a bad thing. I think that we actually don't necessarily want to listen to 100% efficient voices. Now, I think I actually do not want to poo-poo those backing singers and say that I'm not thinking their voices are valid, because I think their voices are probably brilliant singing different styles as well. But I don't think it has to be that. It's more what I'm saying. I think that we want to see and hear the variety. I mean, I do. I love a variety of voices. I think that it's so important because the way that people sing, the songs they sing, it tells you what it's like to be a different person if you truly listen. And it helps you feel what it's like to be a different human. And I think that is a little bit more understanding in this world wouldn't go missed, maybe. I think that that's an important thing.
I'm gonna get out with my friends.
Yes.
I just
Such strength.
with my friends. I need someone to love. All I need is someone who knows where I'm going. Somebody knows what I'm showing.
Those backing singers are so epic. I love them. They're so highly skilled. And so you get this real juxtaposition between his fragility and the strength of these singers there as well. It's kind of interesting as well because his influences are people like Aretha Franklin, who of course are more towards the style of those backing singers with a very full, very powerful, very efficient voice. And so he's kind of drawing that gospel from them, that strength that comes in Aretha Franklin's case from her faith, but I'm not sure what his religious background is, but the strength that comes from believing in something, I think. Yet he's kind of sitting there in a very human place on top of this music, on top of that gospel, on top of that faith, I guess. And this is also, if you didn't know, this was a song, I'm sure you probably know this, but this was a song by the Beatles first, and this is radically different than their original version. It's such a beautiful song though.
I'm gonna get by with my friends.
So let's listen to this.
I don't see too much, but it sure feels like mine.
They are like the manifestation of whatever a person's spirituality is, and he is like the human responding to that. I feel like in that moment, that's my interpretation anyway. But they have such clean voices, as I say, very efficient from a vocal coach perspective. What makes a voice clean and what makes it sound raspy or distorted? When the vocal cords vibrate, they often vibrate in an even way. That's what makes they're vibrating very evenly. If I'm that rasp, that is when something kind of goes out of a line with that evenness and it vibrates in an irregular way. It makes noise rather than a sung note. And so sometimes that can happen by just anatomy. Maybe there is something like a different shaped vocal cord that vibrates a bit unevenly, or maybe just a bit of tissue that is a different shape that vibrates on the way as the air leaves your mouth or leaves your vocal tract. But also we can put these things on. Now I'm sure these singers, the backing singers there, they have very, very skillful voices and would be able to put this on. So they can put things on like growl, which is often used by the false vocal folds, which it's actually a mechanism there to protect your vocal cords. So if you cough or if you put a lot of pressure behind it, it kind of comes over and protects from all that air pressure, because the vocal cords are very small and flimsy and lovely and cute, and we actually, if you look at them, you won't say they're cute, but they don't want too much pressure behind them. But you can also use them to make different sounds, and it's interesting because it's used in a lot of tribal music because it sounds really, really animalistic. I think it kind of brings us into our animal nature. You know, we're animals, aren't we? We're not just humans. And we have our animal brains and our kind of human brains at the same time. And I think hearing these different voices are like different parts of our nature, really. I guess the faith here for him is his friends. It makes sense, actually. Like nothing's more, atheist-ish person here, non-specific religion person here, I'll say. I feel like there's nothing more spiritual to all of us, universally, than community. Like really connecting with other humans together, and that makes real sense that it's been made into this gospel moment. Like we're all here, we're this togetherness. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. It doesn't matter about the different religions. Togetherness is what matters. Ooh. That is pure distortion, pure irregular vibrations. This is also it's gone quite I'm thinking out of the usual vocal coach box here, but I feel like one of the things here is and this is something that I find very important with Unchain My Pupils, to be honest, is that he isn't getting in his own way. There is no stop between the thought of singing and the output. It's just happening. He's just enjoying the music. He is believing in what he is singing, and he's not thinking about it. Now, sometimes when you're practicing, you need to spend time thinking about it. You need to work out what you're doing, where you're, what notes it is, and maybe what register you're in, technique stuff. You do need to have a look at that. And even Joe Cocker, who is I would say a bit of an anti-technique person, has to think about how he sings something before he goes on stage. But boy, when he goes on stage, he lets it all go. And that is what I would suggest. Just go out there and sing, and don't think about it, and it does not matter. This is humanity in itself, and moments of animalistic sounds with the pure distortion, and you're getting all these different layers, and that is what's beautiful. It is humanity that hasn't put a stop. It hasn't put a wall up. It is just being here I am, flaws and all. Let's sing. Let's be together. Let's celebrate our togetherness and our differences. And it's beautiful. I can feel it.
We just keep moving on.
I'm sorry, I keep on going on about these backing singers, but they're so good. So, that is really hard. I'm gonna go try it. Yeah, okay, so really short staccato, really beautiful. They're so together, and then a little scoop with the big vibrato on the end. Just the precision on that. I always struggle. I think that I always struggle to say the word precision. See, precision. I think it's because my mind goes, oh my god, you have to be so precise when you say it. And then I get in my own way about the word. It happens.
All around this world, I've got my friends along with me to help me make it all the way on home. And we've got some love in our hearts, some heart in our soul, and together we're going.
My friend is so hopeful. It brings so emotion. Wow. We're living through a time right now where I cannot, quite frankly, bear to look at the news. And this music like this is so hopeful for me, in that it expresses all the flaws. It expresses all the flaws, but it also makes you feel and understand that togetherness, the facts that we can lift each other up. And something that I really have been thinking about today is how, it feels like the world is overwhelming, and what can one little person do? But if each of us look after our own souls and our own self and our own mental health and our own wellness, then we become a nice and wonderful person to be around, and I can assure you that every single one of you are a wonderful person, and most of the time when we do not so good things, definitely myself included, it's when we are not in a good place. So if we can take care of ourselves in our little place, then a butterfly effect happens, and we can all you're nice to the next person, and that makes that next person move on, and it can become a beautiful place, and that's the hope I have. And people like Joe Cocker and this song solidifies to me that possibility, and I love that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.